What's up, everyone? I'm Shadeen, and welcome to another episode of Outpour. On this show, we are talking everything LGBTQ, pop culture, and social justice. This week's episode is about Thanksgiving. Now, we know that the holidays can be hard for a lot of folks, especially LGBTQ folks who might not have a strong relationship with their biological families.
So, as you all know, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. I'm wondering what Thanksgiving is like in your homes.
For me, well, I can speak for myself. For me, Thanksgiving is food. Like, it's all about food and family. So, like, we cook down. Like, my family, we cook down. And I tell you, like, Thanksgiving, so we cook Thanksgiving type meals all year round, but like Thanksgiving is the big day where like we just have literally everything, and it's always the family getting together. So the way in my family, the way they do it each year, one of my great grandmother, one of her the nieces or the nephews hold Thanksgiving. So it's held at a different family members, they host it, but everyone contributes. So everyone makes the meals. They're like specialty dish.
So it's
or
like
whatever.
a potluck.
It's kind of like a potluck. That's exactly what it is. So we bring everything together, and everyone gets together. We eat. We have fun, and everybody do what they do, gossip, and just really it's about laughing and enjoying that quality time really for us. That's really what it's about. Food.
I'm gonna add another F to it. It's food, family, and fun.
Yeah.
So when we're done eating, we're done drinking, we done partied out, we play games. Yes. My family, we have a tradition, we play board games, we play charades, all type of acting out games, gestures, and that's just another aspect of it. We're just not coming together just to eat. We're also, celebrating one another, our ancestry. We're also having fun at the same time.
Yes.
For me, it's a little different now. When there were strong matriarchs in my family, we had better Thanksgivings. My mother, who is now in her 80s, she doesn't cook as much because she's not as mobile. My aunt, who also used to host Thanksgivings at her house down the street from my mother's house, exactly one block, used to host Thanksgiving, and then she passed. And the tradition never carried on, so I try to maintain a certain tradition because I'm now the cook of the family.
All right.
And my mother's not mobile, or she can't stay in the kitchen, so she really can't cook like that.
Can you cook well?
Bitch, I cook down.
No, can you cook? You ain't I'm talking about like Thanksgiving food.
Wait, but you ain't sitting down on dry turkeys, are you?
No.
I just want to know. If she's dry, I will not. I don't care.
No, Rob, like, can you really cook?
No, like I can really cook. I started cooking at the age of 8.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've been cooking for a very long time. I learned from my mother. I perfected my own style of cooking. I can cook soul food really well, but I don't eat a lot of soul food.
Okay.
So when I'm cooking for my family, because I know they like things high in salt, high in sugars, my mother can't eat the shit because she's too fucking old for the shit, but I will cook things that are, traditional soul food. And I'll also follow through with things like that for later traditions and holidays. So the fun and the sense of camaraderie that comes along with family during Thanksgiving has been lost because my sisters don't cook and their kids are my age. And my son and my nieces and nephews are babies, and I'm trying to keep that tradition alive for them so they can understand what it means to spend time with your family and the importance of doing that holiday. Because other than that, we really don't have it. I think for about 5 years, we lost that sense of family tradition from Thanksgiving. So I'm trying to bring that back. So I do certain things for my family on the holidays, and I cook my favorite dish. I cook the things that my mom used to cook, and that's just how we roll at this point.
What is your favorite traditional food?
For me, it's the turkey and dressing. So the dressing is like definitely my favorite. So definitely we're talking about homemade cornbread dressing. I'm not talking about no stuffing. I ain't talking about
no Jiffy, no
stove. No, we're talking about Jiffy. Well, you can use Jiffy to make the cornbread, and then use the cornbread, and we want the giblets, and we want all the chopped. We want the giblets from the turkey neck, and we want the chopped green beans, green peppers. Green peppers.
That's how we do it.
You know what it is.
Girl, I know what to do.
We want all of the fixings and everything in there. We want some of that turkey juice and all of that, so that it has that real good, authentic flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, for Thanksgiving, I make one of the main dishes. You know, you can't have Thanksgiving without macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese, yeah.
So the macaroni and cheese, I always make the macaroni and cheese every year. And then for dessert, I make the banana pudding. So, you know, that's my specialty for Thanksgiving. That's what I make. You know, but you can't have mac and cheese. You can't have Thanksgiving without mac and cheese.
Yes, it gotta be a good mac, though.
It gotta be a good mac.
It's a good mac. I ain't talking about no Zatarain's, you know, mac and cheese, no Kraft mac and cheese.
Baby, everybody mac and cheese.
No,
I done had some mac and cheese
no,
in my
I-
day.
I-
They all ain't created equally, baby.
They're all ingredient equally, okay?
That's right.
This ain't Martin Luther King civil rights. They don't make that shit equally.
Yeah.
Baby, just
For
saying.
me, there are traditional things, you know, the macaroni and cheese, the turkey, all that shit. Traditional black soul food.
That's right.
My favorite thing to make is the yams.
But you can go either way with them yams now.
Well,
You do marshmallows?
I don't do marshmallows. That's a little too white for me.
Okay.
But I know some people who make it like that with little granola on top.
Yeah.
I need my shit
I've
thick
never
and
had granola.
syrupy
I've never had
with some
granola.
cinnamon, some nutmeg, some maple syrup,
Yes.
some vanilla extract,
Okay.
maybe a chick stick it to a butter, some shit
Yep.
like that. But I really go for the banana pudding. That's my shit
Well.
for Thanksgiving because I do a little twist on it.
Mama make a
So a lot of people are very traditional. Some people do the fluff, the whipped one. You know, I follow the same recipe, then I throw a little extra in it, a little spice to really bring out the flavor of the vanilla, and that makes it really savory.
Yeah.
So I throw a little. I can't tell y'all. I'm about to tell y'all I can't do this shit.
No, my mom has a secret banana pudding recipe also, so I get where you're going with that.
I started teaching my boyfriend how to make it, and he took it to his friend. He was like, "Oh, bitch, this is guy how to make banana." He's like, "Yeah, my nigga showed me."
That ain't no joke. Okay, you gotta get you
Yeah,
one. Get you a
discipline.
rod.
You better get you
Yeah, get you a rod, get you a black Jesus, bitch. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
What is your fondest Thanksgiving memory?
Ooh, baby.
I think about the fact that so many people only see their family during Thanksgiving. So I think about Thanksgiving is one of those times where that may be like the only time, one time during the year, or the one time when you actually get together and see your family. So for me, a fond Thanksgiving memory is just seeing my great grandmother who's no longer here, and just seeing everyone. One of my cousins who recently passed away, like she would always be at Thanksgiving. So just seeing everyone there and having fun and enjoying themselves, laughing. For me, those are and it's more than one memory because I just think about so many of the years when it was happening. But those times are just those times I really hold near and dear to my heart, and there are the times I really think about when I think of Thanksgiving. And those are the things that I would hope that my kids and future generations would continue.
So for me, I'm living my memories through my cousins, my older cousins, people who knew my grandmother. They said, "Oh my God, you know," because my grandma passed when I was 7. They was like, "Oh my God, your grandmother was a cook. You don't know how y'all missed her food." And I'm living my memories of her through my family members. You know, so it's a little spin on it, and it's so funny that I'm a cook in my family as well, making major dishes for Thanksgiving. So it's like she's living on.
It's almost the gay man that cooks at the Thanksgivings when the mothers decide to take a break.
Well, you know, I agree. You got to learn how to cook. You got to be gay, and if you're gonna be gay, you better cook. If you're gonna be cook, you know how to be
Cook your
gay.
man, okay?
Okay, come on here.
So you keep him. Food away to man's hard.
What about you, Rob?
So for me, my fondest memories are when I was maybe preteen, between the ages of like 9 and 10. My dad died when I was 9. So anything from, I want to say the ages of 7 to 10 when the family was really tight, we used to go down to my aunt's. So we had Thanksgiving at my mom's house, then we go down the street to my aunt's house. And my uncle was the family alcoholic.
Ooh,
And,
Lord.
you know, those are always the most fun memories because the alcoholic always keeps shit entertained. And he will
Got a
always
few of
do,
those in my family.
baby, we all got a few. We got the alcoholic and the crackhead.
Right?
Those are the alcoholics
How's your
right there.
purse, y'all? Because you know
Oh.
such and such coming over.
They
You know
play
such and such
wild.
is coming now.
But for my uncle, he would get drunk and he would do like James Brown shit. He would do splits and sing songs. And he had this, back in the, you know, honey, I grew up in the 90s. They had these really big camcorders that you held on your shoulders. And he had one of those. The ones that you used to see at the NBC and ABC studios and see it like the big shits. And he would film and he would carry on.
wow.
And then he was the uncle who had the most, he was most financially stable. He had the better job. So he would get drunk and start giving out money. So if you were there, you could walk away with $100 by the end of the night because he would just give out money when he got drunk. Come here, young buck. Come here. Do that dance when you do it at your birthday
Got
party.
a little entertainment.
And baby, you start dancing.
But you can't
Here
entertain
you go.
Right.
He slides you $100.
Right.
So if you wanted to make some money on the holidays, You do whatever Uncle Johnny told you to do.
That's right.
Because he was giving out the coins.
Come on here.
Okay? And then granted, you might not have it by the end of the night, your mother gonna take the money from you.
Right.
But you made some money. Okay?
That's a good memory.
So not everyone is close to their family or has positive Thanksgiving memories. I'm wondering, for anyone that you know that really doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving or can't go home for Thanksgiving, whether it be because people are no longer alive or because they're not accepted, would you be able to bring friends or people from your community to Thanksgiving at your homes?
So I think that's a very important, topic that we need to talk about more. Thanksgiving, traditionally, it's about traditions and memories. But who says you can't build and make new traditions?
Yes.
Who says you cannot build and make new traditions? It ain't always about the turkey. Maybe I'm gonna have a ham this year. Maybe I have some seafood this year. Maybe I have some dango Italian food. It's not always the traditions, but sometimes you making new traditions what matters. My friend, a very personal and a good friend of mine, he don't bring his family like that. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to Delaware. You welcome. My family treats you like, all right, you here? Come on to the kitchen, help us out. Come on, exactly. Your family. Making new memories, making new traditions. I think that's what it's about also.
See, for me, it's very much the same way, especially with me being a single father.
Yep.
And a single gay dad.
Yep.
That hashtag single gay dad.
Hashtag
Single gay dad.
Okay, hashtag single gay dad. So for me, I have, his lifestyle is different than what it was when I grew up. He doesn't have his mom and dad in the same house. And my friends are excommunicated from their families. So I like to create that sense of family and belonging around the holidays, because I had a friend who's a fashion designer and he's on the rise or whatever, but his family lives in a whole other state and they don't really fuck with him.
Wow.
So I would create dishes that he loved, and he lived with me for a while, and so when Thanksgiving came, it was a really big thing. I knew I was going to go see my family, but I said, you know what, we're gonna have something here for you. And I would invite my friends who didn't have families or that sense of belonging because they were gay or they were in different cities and states from their families. So my son gets exposed to that, but he knows that even though this is not, I don't have my mom here, I have my dad and his gay brothers, he doesn't know gay brothers, but his brothers and his friends, and this is our family. He would ask for them all the time when they weren't around. So he would say, where's so-and-so, where's so-and-so? Are they coming over for dinner? Are they coming over for this? And he grew to love them as his family. So it's creating those traditions around people who don't have, because a lot of LGBTQ people of color don't have that sense of family. When we grow up, we become a little bit distant from them sometimes.
Yes, right.
So we latch on to other people, and we latch on to those we feel close to, and we look for that type of family unit. We look, and he used to always call me Big Mama, because on every Sunday I would clean my house, and I would play my gospel music, my Aretha Franklin and shit. He said, you remind me of my mother, because this is shit she would do. I said, well, honey, I'm Big Mama, I gotta take care of the children. So he will always love to be around for those moments, because I gave him a sense of belonging, a sense of family. And before he went back to Paris to pursue his career, I said, you know what? I'm gonna cook all your favorite foods. So he said, bitch, make that cabbage you make like my mother made before. So, it's just, I really love to have people around like that, because when my dad died, I couldn't turn to nobody.
Yeah, that's real.
And I know how he felt being, not having his mother there and losing family members.
That's real.
So I wanted him to always feel loved by somebody.
That's real.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real.
And so we can't have this conversation about family and about connection without it getting real. And while we're in this moment, I have to acknowledge that as we talk about belonging and community, the origins of Thanksgiving and what it meant about colonization and genocide, and I'm wondering how we hold that at the same time as having all of these really beautiful, vulnerable moments with people that we love.
So I actually wanted to just take a step back to the previous question that you asked, because it hit on exactly kind of what Rob was talking about, and also what you were talking about is making those new memories. And it's so crazy, because Rob, I empathize with exactly what you were saying and what you were feeling. Because this past Thanksgiving last year's Thanksgiving was the first Thanksgiving that I did not get to spend with my family. Wow. It was the first Thanksgiving. It was the first year that I was not with my family on Thanksgiving. And And it brings up those emotions. It brings up those feelings. That was the first year that I did not get to spend with my family. The holiday that we're talking about that we spend and we're there with the people who, you know, who you love and you're used to spending that time with. So I get it. And I think that having friends, and I had people, I cooked the dinner at home, and I had friends who came from, who are my new family here at where I call home. So being able to create those new memories, to create those new traditions, to be able to have some sense of family still where I am at, so that I didn't feel, you know, isolated or alone, because I definitely I understand where you're coming from, how much that means. Like I really do.
think, you know, that's also where we get terms like Friendsgiving from.
Yes, Friendsgiving.
You know,
I think I had my first one this last year, but this was still Thanksgiving because it was family. They were family to me. I didn't even consider
That's
them
right.
friends, because to take time out your day that you could have spent with your family to have come to my house and to spend that time with me, you were my family. They will forever be family, always.
this has brought up a lot, Shadeen. You know, this particular episode.
And so, yeah,
It definitely did. Oh, Rob. Oh, Rob.
Yeah.
Damn. Whew, baby. I feel that for sure.
and so we know that this gets real. We want to thank you all for being here today. I know that for many of you that this might have brought up some difficult things for you, and so we want to say that we consider you a part of our family. As always, we want to thank you for the outpour of love and support. See you next week.